Good morning, everyone, and welcome to ADGM's Emirati Women's Day webinar. My name is Sheikh Al-Marzouki, and as an Emirati, I'm both proud and excited to be your host today and interviewing some of the most inspirational women in our country. The world has been impacted by the COVID-19 global pandemic that has completely altered life as we know it. This whole ordeal has highlighted how blessed we are to be living in the UAE, a country that has gone above and beyond to protect its citizens and ensure the utmost health and safety measures. Today, I have the pleasure in taking you along some of the most inspirational women my fellow Emirati have endeavored in their time on the front line. Also, I would like to encourage everyone to please use the ADGM hashtag. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Fatma Mohammed Al-Qabi, acting Deputy Chief Medical Officer at Sheikh Khalifa Medical Hospital.
Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be on this platform and happy Emirati woman. I'm going to give you just a small introduction about myself. I have to tell you, by practice, I'm a hematologist, so this is my passion. I've taken some admin roles, but my true love lies within the care of the direct care with my patients. I've been told to say a word about Emirati women, and well, I'm an Emirati woman who every day goes to work, so every day is an Emirati woman to me. Saying that, when I say Emirati woman, it's not about the passport that we hold, or for me, any female that is in the front line, taking care of this country, showing passion and love. This is for me is an enough title to be an Emirati. So this is something, it's an honor to have and to carry on. This great country has given us a great platform. I am a graduate of UAU. I was raised and bred here, and then I went for my fellowship abroad. But I would like to say that happy Emirati woman every day, for every woman who is working and giving back to this country. So I would like to pass now the mic to my colleague, Dr. Metha.
Thank you, Dr. Fatma. And my thanks goes to ADGM for having us today. My name is Meitha Mohammed Al-Dir'i. I'm the Deputy Director of Abu Dhabi Police Ambulance from Emergency and Public Safety Directorate of Abu Dhabi Police. By background, I'm a consultant in emergency medicine. I'm as well a graduate of the College of Medicine and Health Sciences of UAE, like Dr. Fatma. And that's my pleasure to be with her and with our fellow colleague, Dr. Abir. I would like to express our thanks to the Mother of the Nation, Her Highness Sheikh Fatma bint Mubarak, for designating Emirati Women's Day to celebrate the achievement of the Emirati women and to recognize their essential role in the development of our beloved country, UAE. So congratulations to all Emirati women. I would like to pass it now to Dr. Abir Al-Taniji. Good morning and happy Emirati Women Day. It's a pleasure to share this event with you all today. I'm Dr. Amir Al-Taneji. I'm a director in clinical operations in Cleveland Clinic, Abu Dhabi. I'm also a physician and a specialist in public health. I'm currently supporting COVID operations inpatient and outpatient in our hospital. In addition to our role, I also participated in a lot of women empowerment and development programs with Her Excellency Dr. Meitha Shamsi, Minister of State. I want to congratulate all Emirati women on this day, and I want to also thank ADGM for hosting this event. I'll pass it now to our host, Ms. Sheikha.
Thank you, ladies, and thank you for the introductions. First of all, happy Emirati Women's Day, everyone. How are you all?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. We're already receiving questions before we even started.
Good.
Okay. Dr. Fatma, if you would allow me, I would like to start with you. To first know what inspired you to study medicine and seek medicine-related fields.
Well, Sheikha, this is a very good question. Because, inspiration has different faces. And when we are young, we don't know what inspires us until we, move on in life and we become adults and, our brain cells are functioning much better. Yeah. So my father was my inspiration. He wanted me to be a doctor. And I said, okay. But, at one point I was more into law and being maybe a lawyer or journalist at one point. But once I set foot and once I got into medicine, it took over everything. So I think inspiration also came from all the faces around us and all the help that we could give and all the stories that we hear around us. So this is my inspiration.
I'm sure you don't regret this decision and everyone around you is proud.
And despite if I have like long on calls, maybe one moment of weakness, but usually no.
We are all proud of all our doctors, especially nowadays. How do you see the UAE as a country supported you in fulfilling your dreams throughout your career?
So this country is, when you're young, you don't realize what you get until you get out of your cocoon. And this country has kind of pampered us and gave us all the platform to be whoever we want to be. So it gave us the best universities, it gave us the best colleges, it gave us the best opportunities even to pursue our education elsewhere if we wanted. So we had all of this and we had this blue map, I would say, laid in front of us and we built it together. And I think whoever in this country who has passion, it will be nurtured by the leadership. I have to say this story because this story is one of the things that touched my heart. When I finished my residency and I wanted to pursue my fellowship in stem cell transplant, I had a lot of there's no unicorn and rainbow. There's always some struggles, some stones on the way. So I was told by people that, well, why do you want to study stem cells? We don't have it in the country. I said, that's the point. You go and bring it to the country. I was like, well, you know what? Why don't you go and do something that we will do? For instance, go do something in cardiology, surgery. And I was like, but why can't we bring something new? And it was a big struggle until one day. I've seen him by chance, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, by chance, complete chance. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I just need to go with the flow, whatever the country, the education office at this time wanted. And he asked me, how are you doing? And I said, I'm okay. I said, what's your plan? And I said, well, my plan was to do this and this and this. And he said, good luck. And that's it. I didn't request anything. The same day at night, I got a call from his office congratulating me on my admission to UK for a stem cell transplant. So these kind of stories shows the connection of the leadership and the people and how dreams become visible. And like everybody knows, we just announced our first bone marrow transplant, which was done in July in the country. And this was a big accomplishment because it's a historical moment for us all. So that's it.
We are truly blessed to be Emiratis. We're very fortunate for this country and the leaders.
Of course we are.
Dr. Metha, how if you can just please tell us, like, how is it being on the front line and assisting your fellow medics, especially in the police and workforce? It's completely different world to us in ADGM and also like to the doctors.
So at the beginning of the pandemic, I was following the development of the situation in Wuhan closely. I wasn't so scared at the beginning as a physician, as we went through a few pandemics earlier. But as the situation progressed, actually we noticed that COVID-19 pandemic is nothing that we have witnessed before. And my initial thoughts was how to protect our medics in the field. They are so valuable to us. And as you know, the ambulance service is an integral part of the response system of the Emirate. So protecting them and ensuring their safety and their ability to provide efficient and efficacy of service to all the cases is really paramount. So we worked closely with them, developing our own guidelines for the ambulance and pre-hospital procedures based on the national and international guidelines that we were changing frequently due to the discovery. So the virus, every now and then we discover something new, and then you had to go back and change the guidelines, especially when you're working on the field. That is a bit different than working inside the hospital. And the initial thoughts of the initial feelings was, of course, you wanted to serve the country. And as Dr. Fatma said, our country pampered us, gives us everything, and now it's our time to pay back at least part of the things that we received from the country. So I wanted to participate like everyone else, but even more so. And I was privileged to get the support of the Abu Dhabi Police leadership and Sheikh Shakhbout Medical City as well. So I worked few shifts in the emergency department since 2 months now, and it has been after the surge, but at least you feel that you contributed somehow in both the pre-hospital and the emergency departments.
That's very inspirational and very heroic. There's like, it's this time, especially in this pandemic, we've really realized how important like the medical field and all the the police work and the efforts they're putting for our comfort and safety. So thank you from all of us. Would you like to share with us also, like in specific, the role of the Emirati women in the work in the police workforce, and how did they manage being in the front line during the COVID-19 pandemic?
I would like to do that, Sheikh, and actually I have a video to show you all.
Okay.
So the Emirati women in Abu Dhabi Police are working side by side with their fellow men in all police sectors to provide safety and to protect our beloved country. They constitute 14% of Abu Dhabi Police workforce, of which 98% are Emirati, and we're proud of that. They are working in all fields. They're participating in sports events, in community engagement, to participate with the community and encourage them with the police work. During the COVID pandemic, we have our police women working in the police patrols, including the happiness patrol, ensuring the safety of our roads among their colleagues, male policemen. They worked as well in special task forces, in the medical services, as physicians, nurses, lab technicians. They worked in the call centers, in the management, and in the front lines, especially in the ambulance services. They worked to respond to COVID cases. They worked in the CBRN team. Actually, Abu Dhabi Police won the first UN award for supporting women police. As well, we have the highest number of women in high rank among the Gulf countries. So you could see that we have qualified female police force that's working in all the fields, and they are courageous and continue to serve our nation during the pandemic, and they are always available to assist in keeping our community safe and secure.
Thank you. Very interesting story and video as well.
Thank you.
Dr. Abir, would you like to share with us any challenges or obstacles that you have faced being on the front line?
Yes, Sheikha. Actually, there were a lot of challenges. Simply, we were in a battle with the unknown. We were receiving different guidelines, different updates on daily basis, and sometimes even on hourly basis. It depends on the changes internationally or even nationally sometimes. For example, our workforce, some of them were outside the country. They were stuck because of the airline situations, because of the borders closure. The disease transmission, the nature of the disease itself, the best protective equipment to be used. All of these things related to planning, integration between all health system in UAE, in Abu Dhabi, and internationally as well. And we ensured to maintain the highest access of care to the patients and to be able to accommodate a large number at any time with maintaining also the high quality of services. All of these were challenges and also were examples of what we faced during the COVID situation.
I think that the scary part was like the certainty, the certainty of the unknown and what's coming and what are we expecting. That was really hard. Would you like to share with us like maybe a moment that stood out to you, like that would give you further motivation or like a sense of accomplishment, Dr. Abir?
Related to COVID now?
Yes.
So it's fair to say every day, every moment stood out during this period. From our fellows, from our colleagues, from people and patients themselves. One of the stories that I always remember that one of our employees, a physician, health lead, who was infected by COVID. So we informed our colleagues and we were having daily meetings. So next day when we joined the meetings virtually through Teams, of course, we were surprised that he joined the meeting, although he was admitted in the hospital and he was sick. So what we heard is that, good morning team, I am Dr. and I'm speaking to you from the room number such and such in floor. I'm admitted today. I just want to tell you that I'm in good health and let's start the meeting. So this feeling, this ambition, this accountability to provide care despite the illness, despite his situation, and he was admitted for quite time, for around 2 weeks. Nevertheless, he participated in all daily events, in all the updates and all the changes, which is really touching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to Dr. Fatma, in your opinion, how did the UAE handle the pandemic when it came to like providing testing and medical support to its citizens and residents?
I think the UAE is now one of the pioneers when it comes to the experience of COVID and how it's handled. I would say personally, it is one of the best models in the world, because what UAE has done with the leadership is they came up with a very precise plan. I would say medical and non-medical plan. Non-medical plan, speaking about lockdowns and mass testings and all of these things. When it comes to the medical field, every hospital and every coming to private or public, had opened doors to accommodate whatever patients that are impacted or needed care. And this put the UAE has actually set up certain standards when it comes to the care of patients when it comes to COVID-19. Statistically speaking, we are the lowest mortality when compared to all the countries. When it comes to the new emerging treatment, we are the only country where we implemented the convalescent plasma a week after its approval. We are also like because we had before us, we had the Chinese and we had the Italians who suffered. And the convalescent plasma was something new that came up as a treatment where basically you take someone who's infected, you take their serum where the antibodies and you inject it to someone else and see if they can fight the virus. We also the UAE came up with a novel treatment with stem cell therapy as an inhalation, which took the intellectual property and it's patent now. We're just waiting for the final phase 3 results, which was conducted in 2,000 patients. So speaking of that, our intensive care unit patients who are really sick did excellent in comparison to patients who are admitted in all the other countries. Speaking of China, which had 70 to 80% mortality rate, we had less than 10%, which is a very big number when I say a mortality rate of intensive care unit patients. Some places had 90%. So this is our accomplishment comes from the integral process that made the health system work in one guidelines with one unity to fight this pandemic. We're the only ones who got all the antivirals. We have our own protocols, our own guidelines, and all of these guidelines have shown and proven that we did excellent in comparison to all other countries. And this will be published very soon in national journals.
Yeah, I think the EU is making history when it comes to handling this crisis.
And also one thing
yes.
have not to forget the vaccine trial. Yeah. So we are the only country who achieved we hit the 15,000 benchmark on a vaccine trial that never happened. We had the largest trial in the century when it came to COVID-19. So with all of these volunteers from all across the UAE. So we all know when the pandemic happened, every expert came out and said, the answer is the vaccine. Hopefully, and I think, I wish and I hope and I think, inshallah, UAE will be the first one to have a footprint when it comes to the COVID vaccine, inshallah.
Inshallah. Dr. Abir, what is your hope for the future of healthcare in the UAE?
My hope for the future of healthcare is transformation. Transformation, what I mean here, is not simply the change in structure, people, or dimensions. It's the change in the nature of the organization itself. The processes should be more dynamic, energetic. We should focus more on research, digital health, innovation, patient education, and patient-provider relationship. COVID was a very good example here. The UAE has taken the lead in large initiatives during COVID-19, such as mass testing, surveillance, access to care, vaccine trials, as mentioned by my colleague, Dr. Fatma, and the international support to the medical supplies across the world. I trust that UAE is a lead in a lot of elements and initiatives related to healthcare, and that it will continue to progress to be a lead in healthcare worldwide in the future, inshallah.
Maybe just to bring this back to ADGM in a way, we have a startup program and we have an agreement with the DOH regarding technology startups looking to set up companies within the health sector. So we're working closely with DOH and Hub 71 on this. So I think more attraction is coming towards the healthcare sector as well. Dr. Mehta, if you would allow me to ask you, for the people that are looking to join these wide fields, the future generations, what would be your word of advice?
Sheikh, actually, being a healthcare provider is a blessing. To be able to provide medical care for your for the other humans is um, is, is a privilege. And if it is a job, actually, if done well, you get paid twice, in this life and in the afterlife. My advice for people who want to come and join the healthcare workforce is to stay passionate about their dream. They need to follow it through, and nothing is impossible, actually. And when they feel a bit stressed, they need to go always back to their roots and remember why they are doing it. And I would like to say, we need you. Your country needs you. Our healthcare system needs you. The humanity needs you. And we encourage you to get into this system, and you can do it.
Thank you so much. And I think with the leaders that are saying nothing is impossible, I think nothing is impossible. It's our role that we need to give back and chase our dreams and fulfill whatever we can do to achieve these goals.
Exactly. So once you do something in your mind, you always are able to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And with the women empowerment and Emirati empowerment, I think nothing is impossible. I would just maybe just have a question on the coming from LinkedIn, I think. LinkedIn, yeah. Regarding the future of stem cells opportunity in the UAE. Dr. Fatma, would you like to take that?
Yeah, well, when we come to a future of, when we particularly say stem cell, okay, stem cells has been a curative treatment for certain diseases since the 1960s. Yeah. For example, for blood malignancies, which is cancers of the blood, leukemias, lymphomas, and so on. And also, it has evolved in a sense that is used for other kind of diseases, like immune diseases, some kind of neurological disease, and so on. The list is huge. When I come to the future, we have here, we're a 49 years old country. We're a young country when it comes to how we reached from 0 to 120, right? I think by 2 years, our calculation of years is different than anywhere else, and we all agree on that. So when I speak about stem cell, it's not just the stem cells, it's the stem cells, the genetic therapy, and what Dr. Abir was saying about research and putting a platform, the Hub 71, everyone coming together, creating I would say the science fiction of all, yeah? Because in the past, we would see very strange things on TV. I think this will not be strange anymore. We will be able to cure many things with stem cells. We will be able to decode the genetic code, use the CRISPR, something called CRISPR. It's like cut and paste. Just remove the bad gene, put the good gene. And I think all of this potential will be coming soon to the UAE. It's not coming soon. Actually, it's there. It's just growing in a fast rate, and everyone will be hearing very good news very soon. Stem cells for now is used for curative, and I think it's something that we all need to invest in. The country has seen the niche and the need, and they are putting putting a lot of resources into it. By 2 years from now, I think we will be people who will be leading in terms of even research and clinical trials. I hope it answers the question.
It did to me. So maybe I change my career or something. Has the pandemic, we got this question through our community email. Has the pandemic influenced younger women into being more interested into the medical career? Who would like to take this question?
I can take it. It's difficult to answer this question now, but certainly the amount of participation from the public, the volunteers, the medical students was huge. residents in hospital, interns as well. We can see clearly their participation. They were volunteering, taking extra shifts. Even there was an initiative for physicians who were working as admin for some time, who were interested to go back to the clinics, to the hospitals, covering shifts, just to help and support in this pandemic. So, of course, I think it will reflect positively, and it will increase the interest of females and males as well in this field.
We have a question here. Thank you so much, Dr. Abir. We have a question here for Dr. Metha, saying if there is in your opinion, is there a difference between being on the front line in the police versus the hospital?
I would say it's almost the same, because everybody who works in the front line are providing a service to our country and to our community, and they're putting themselves out there at risk. And so working, whether it's the police force and the ambulance services and the CPR and the emergency departments and the ICUs and the wards and the clinics, everybody who are in the front line are pretty much faced with the same thing, and they are all giving in to our beloved country. I hope that answered the question.
Thank you. We have another question here as well. Do you see an increased interest as well in the emergency services?
Yes, we do. As Dr. Abir mentioned, lots of volunteers came to us during the COVID pandemic, willing to participate in the ambulance services. You could see that the emergency services received lots of requests for volunteering work, and that showed the increased interest and the willingness from the community to help in this pandemic.
Thank you. Great. Before we wrap up, would you like to have any conclusion or remarks that you want to finish the session with?
If I may, I would say that, as Dr. Fatma mentioned, our country showed very successful response to such a huge pandemic that affected the whole world. The way our leadership responded, the way the community responded, the way our government and private sector responded to the pandemic is actually very remarkable and should be taught to around the world. Thank you for having me, and it was my pleasure to be with such great Emirati women leaders in the field.
Yes, Sheikha. I just want to thank ADGM again, and beautiful ladies joining us today. And I want to thank our leadership, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, and our Prime Minister, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid. Also, Al-Imarat, Sheikh Fatma bint Mubarak, for all the support, for the guidance, for the leadership during this period and from before. The scholarships, the amount, the support, opportunities we are UAE women getting, it's something marvelous, astonishing. I don't think I hear similar examples somewhere else or other countries. Me and my colleague, Dr. Fatma, also, we were blessed by being accepted in a scholarship to Johns Hopkins University, where we finished our Masters of Public Health. And now what happened in COVID, with the support, providing us with the tools and supporting other countries internationally, is just amazing. We're speechless, honestly. So thank you all, and happy Emirati Women Day again.
I think my turn.
Yeah.
Okay. So first, thank you, ADGM, for hosting this, and Sheikha for being such an excellent host to us. My colleagues, being an honor to be with them in the same panel. I just want to say that this country has been created by a vision, and our late Allah yarhamah Sheikh Zayed, he laid out this vision, and we are, I think, extremely blessed to have such a vision and wisdom that we are still carrying on from his greatness. And of course, carried on by the current leadership, Sheikh Khalifa, Allah yahfadh, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, Al-Imarat, Sheikh Fatma, who every time has her blessing is around us in every move. A woman will not be able to reach where they reached without her support. I think if we are thankful for how this country started and how we evolved to where we are now. I think the future holds much better things. I think the investment in the people it's been showing, and it will show inshallah in the future. And I hope also whatever we do, the children of this country will follow through, because the important thing is that we keep going and going and going, because as my colleague was saying, we will never be able to give back a fraction of what we are given. And I think hopefully we will be able to go forward and not look back, and have the name of UAE always high as usual. And happy Emirati Women Day forever.
Thank you so much, ladies. Just before I let you all go, we have a last question that came. How does the present young generation prepare themselves for the new normal? Dr.
Shall I
Fatima?
take it? Yeah. So the new normal meaning the COVID? Post-COVID. Are we post-COVID? Is COVID ending?
I think so. I'm hoping.
So I think with the current dynamic, we are a very resistant and dynamic people. And whatever changes came, we adopted very quickly. So whatever is coming into our way, whatever, if we call it a new normal or the normal that becomes whatever, I think we are all ready. And it's not about, it's all about our resistance and adaptation. So we're a highly adaptable people. And this is what I think from what I saw. It's not, maybe I'm biased as well, of course, yani, but all of the things around us showed in every sector that there is no such, we don't mingle on what we are going to do next. We're in it, we do it, and then we bloom. And I think all of us share the same kind of sense.
You wrapped it up in a very nice way. Thank you, Dr. Fatima. Thank you all, ladies, for being part of the ADGM session. It was absolutely a pleasure having you all, and hopefully, inshallah, soon we can have you in ADGM premises, and look forward to seeing you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.